All right, guys, we are back with another video. I must warn you ahead of time that this video will be quite long because there's a lot to cover in this one topic that I want to talk about. Um, Grab your drinks, grab your snacks, whatever you want to eat on, because this is going to be a long video. It will not be short, but it will be definitely long. Um, there's a lot to cover in this video. So if you're not for long videos, this probably won't be the video for you. If you're not um, willing to accept information or willing to receive information or willing to understand the information that's being given, you might want to go to another channel to watch shorter videos because this is going to be a long, lengthy video. Um, I want to thank everyone for watching. I want to thank everyone for subscribing. My new subscribers and old subscribers, thank you, thank you, thank you for subscribing. I want to thank those that are viewing me outside of the United States and those that are viewing me inside the United States. But I like to stretch my hand out as far as I can and giving this information. Um, like I said, I move by spirit and I move what spirit tells me, and um, sometimes it can be very, very hard coming up with content. So please bear with me. Um, like, subscribe, share. Each one teach one. Maybe some information for someone else may need it. So don't be greedy. Pass the information on. Hopefully we will not get interrupted during this video. I'm hoping we won't, but I tried to wait for the guys to come back with the blowers so I can get through it and so I can get this video done. But my roommate might wake up in the time that during this video. So if you hear any background noises, please forgive. All right, so yeah, so push that notification bell, to be notified when there's a new video that has been uploaded. So I have Paul Santo here, and I have my singing bowl. How many earbuds, ear pods? You might want to lower your volume because I'm going to ring this singing bowl. I would like to use my bell, but unfortunately, that's not inadequate because it will be way too long. Well, with the singing bowl, it will not last that long as so far as the singing wise. You just hit it once and that's it. This one you ding, 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 and ding, and you're moving quite a bit for a while. So I don't want to use the bell. Hit it once and get it over with. Some cases I like using the bell. In some cases. All right, here we go. Yeah. Oh yeah. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right, here we go with the singing bowl. There's a smoke gravitating toward me again. All right. So this video is about how to know when you're vibrating on a high frequency. There's multiple ways that you can find out how you're vibrating on a higher frequency. One of the ways is when you know when things are moved out of your life, when one of the ways that you know that you're vibrating on a higher frequency. Another way is when you have no longer the desire to hang out with certain people, when you have no longer to have the desire to do certain activities, whether it be drinking or whether it be smoking or whether it be um, whatever it may be, I mean, you get what I'm saying. Ways to know that high, you're vibrating at a higher frequency is when there are things that do not entertain you anymore. Take, for instance, like me, I love riding motorcycles and I love drag racing, street racing, but all of these things are no longer an interest of mine. I don't have the desire to do it anymore. So this is one of the ways that you know that your frequency is at a higher frequency. Another way that you know that your frequency is high is when religion becomes, I wouldn't say becomes obsolete, but when it becomes to where you want to know more, you want to learn more, you want to step outside of the box. You do not want to be contained inside the box. When it comes to religion, you want to reach out to different avenues. You want to learn more. You want to see more. You want to acknowledge more. You want to understand more of what you are engaging into when it comes to religion. You don't idly sit by and just go by what is being told of you and what you must do. You don't no longer want to be controlled by this religion or be controlled by your thoughts of what people think or your thoughts um, of what people will think of you. If you go outside of the normal, what they consider the norm of religion, when you become more curious about what you are studying and what you are taking in when it comes to religion, this is how you know that you are vibrating at a higher frequency. When no longer these things, when no longer these things are plaguing you and you're concerned with what everyone else thinks when it comes to religion. So when you want to go and look up different types of books that were exit out of the Christian, Roman, Catholic, Protestant, um, Jehovah's Witness, and when you want to go outside of the norm, that's when you're vibrating at a higher frequency because you want to know more. You want to learn more. You want to see what's outside of what you have been taught. This is when you know you're vibrating at a higher frequency. Another way is not. Another way is absorbing nutrients, food, water, things of that nature. Not having a desire to continue to eat on I would call it a trash diet, eating junk, so to speak. Um, some habits are hard to die. Some habits are very, very hard to die when it comes to diet. Um, and I'm not saying that it's bad, I'm not saying that it's good, but I'm saying when you have the want and the desire to change your diet, it is when you are vibrating at a higher frequency. Also, when you know that you're vibrating at a higher frequency, is when you are in nature and nature starts to respond to you. The bees, the birds, all the little, you know, butterflies. Um, let's see, what else? Um, Ladybugs, dragonflies. Um, these things, when you start notice that they respond to you, even cicadas. I'll give you an instance. I was sitting on a tree. Oh no, yeah, I was sitting on a tree that we made as a seating area. Ah, there we go. Disturbance already. And I gave these people ample enough time to come around and do this stuff and get out of here so I can do my video. Um, yeah, cicadas. Now, when I was sitting on this tree, a cicada came down and landed on the tree and it started to come toward me, you know, and I kind of moved away from it, and everywhere I went, the cicada followed me. Every time, everywhere I tried to move, the cicada followed me. So this is when you know that you're vibrating at a higher frequency, when nature starts to respond to your frequency, your vibration frequency. This is when you know that you are vibrating at a high frequency. Excuse the noise in the background. I'm not gonna stop this video, but I wish this person would have came through here earlier. And I'm sitting here waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting, and the blowers didn't come. Now this guy comes with the lawnmower. And there's always the devil coming around and interrupt when you try to put something out. Um, let's see other ways your frequency are increased. Um, let's see. Another way that your frequency is increased. This guy just really just put me out of my frame of thought, especially doing this video, because there's always interruption when you're in that mode and you're in that frame of thought of putting this information out. And usually, when I give my information, is usually when it's like as soon as I wake up, there's like boom, 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 boom. There's things going off in my head like constantly, and the sooner I get to it, the more it's there, the more it start down, the more the downloads come, the higher it's, the faster it is. Um, the more the downloads come, and the more I can put out. I had so much more. Working with crystals also is also knowing when you are at a higher frequency, when you want to um, extend out past your own crystalline or crystalline body, when you want to venture out past that, when you want to start working with other different crystals. This is how you know when your frequency is at a higher rate. um, let's see another way. Manifestations. When you are manifesting, when you manifest, when you are writing things down, when you are speaking things in the ether, when you are, you know, these are things that when you're vibrating at a higher frequency. These are the main things that you know when you're at a really high peak of frequency, is when you speak things in existence, or speak things into the ether, and it becomes to fruition. Becomes to a 3D physical um, reality. You begin it's tangible. You're able to touch it when you speak of it, when you speak it in existence, or even when you write it when you write it. And but also another way that you know when you're vibrating at a high frequency. And I'll give you an instance. When you are in the etheric world, okay, this is for me. This is what happened to me. So this is how you know that you're vibrating at a high frequency. For me, um, I'll give you two instances when you're vibrating at a high frequency. Now, this one night, I was dreaming. I was in the etheric world, and in my dream, um, and you probably can say this was like astral traveling, or I don't think it's called astral traveling. What is it called? Remote viewing. But I was in between remote viewing and the etheric world. I don't know what happened. I don't know how it happened. But in my dream, I seen some people. It was two cars. They were driving behind each other, and one car, the car in the front, kind of suddenly stopped, and the car behind, I think it bumped that car, and the next thing you know, the person get out of the car, their car, and this person was arguing with the other person, and there was words exchanged. The driver got back in the one that was in the front at the stop sign, got back into the car, and then the driver went to his car, grabbed a gun, and started shooting. This happened in my dream in the etheric world. The guy started shooting at the car, and the driver hit. I mean, the one behind hit the passenger, I guess, along the buttocks area, and then grazed the other person around the shoulder area or something. But it was like maybe a couple, like two or three shots. And this happened in the etheric world, but also it happened in the 3D physical realm. That's how that's how you know that you're vibrating at a high frequency. So exactly the same time that shooting happened in the etheric world, it happened in the physical 3D realm. Right outside my window. Right outside my window, there's a street, and then there's a stop sign. So I was remote viewing, but also I was also in the etheric world. So this is how you know when you are vibrating at a very, very high frequency. I'm gonna give you two. I'm gonna give you two more. All right. Now, another way that you know that you're at a high vibrational frequency is when, like for me, example. I'm gonna use this as an example. When you know that you're at a high vibrational frequency, I'll tell you. Um, I was meditating, and I was doing qigong. And as I'm doing qigong, I had a staff, and I sat it up against a tree behind me. So I'm up under a tree, and I'm doing qigong in front of a pond. Okay. Then, as I'm doing my qigong, um, I felt this heavy thud behind me. So I looked behind me, and I didn't see anything. And I looked and seen my staff, and it was still sitting up on the tree. But the thing is that my staff was not heavy enough to make a thud. This is like someone dropped. Okay, let's say how can I say this? The thud was so heavy that it's like, um, shoot, I don't really. I'm trying to see how I can explain it. How the thud felt. It was very solid. It wasn't hollow, but it was solid, like something just hit the ground. You know, okay, the jacks that they use when they breaking up cement, but heavier than that, much heavier. But I mean, it was like a thud. Let's say you have those round balls, the round ball that they do to knock down buildings. But let's say that this ball hits the ground. That's how the thud was. It was a heavy thud. So I looked behind me, nothing. I traveled 400 miles away, and I go back to where I was living at, where I was sent by my elders, my ancestors, to work on my awareness. So I was doing qigong again in the country because there's nothing but fields and two ranches beside where I was living, and I'm doing qigong again, and that same thud happened behind me again, where the ground shook. So this is when you know you're vibrating at a high frequency. Another way that you know that you're vibrating at a very high frequency. This is when, now this is for me, this is what happened with me. I am in Satan's kingdom. I am 5 floors up, mind you. About 3 feet and about 3 feet away from my bunk is the table. It looks like a table that you have out in the park. You know, it's all metal, but it's the same style as that. But the table is like 3 feet away from my bunk. So I'm in this dream, and I haven't told anyone this yet. I haven't even put this out on YouTube. I hadn't put it out on YouTube or Facebook. So I'm in my dream, and I'm in the etheric world, and I'm in this building, and the building is glass. Right next to me, there's another tower that's exactly like the one I'm in, but I'm running down a stairwell. I see a tornado or hurricane, and I'm running down these stairs. I'm just running and running and running, and all the rails from the stairwell are falling inward, going down the center of the shaft as I'm running down the stairwell. And I'm looking out the window as I'm running down, and I see the building right next to me, the other tower, whatever it is, they were the exact same building. And I'm seeing this building get demolished by this tornado or hurricane. And as I'm running down the stairs, before I get to the bottom, I'm almost to the bottom, and I wake up. And when I wake up, 3 feet away from me, there's a leaf laying on the floor right by the table. Now I'm 5 floors up in Satan's kingdom. My bunk is 3 feet away. 2 feet, 3 feet. I would say 2 feet. I would say 2.5 feet away from me. The bunk was. I mean, the table was from the bunk. About 2.5, 3 feet away from me. And there was a leaf on the floor. I kept that leaf in the Bible that I had, the King James Version Bible I had, and I wanted to bring that out from me, out here. I wanted to bring it back out here. This leaf that was 5 floors up. 5 floors up. This leaf was. How it get there, I don't know. But this is when you know that you are vibrating at extremely high frequency, when you can bring things from the etheric world into the physical realm. This is when you know that you're vibrating at a high frequency. Hold on. Sorry if this is too loud. Let's see if I can bring this down a little bit. Oh no, never mind. It needs to be up. Sorry. So this is how you know you're vibrating at a very, very extremely high frequency. Um, this is how I knew I was vibrating at a high frequency when all of these things start to happen, making the earth shake, um, pulling something from the etheric world. Also, remote viewing, but in an etheric world. I'm a remote viewing and seeing right outside my window, right outside my bedroom window. So, this is how you know when you are at an extreme vibrational frequency. This is how you know. So, um, another way that you know that you are vibrating at a high frequency is when you are on the hunt for people that speak the same language as you, because you can't go to anyone and start talking about spirituality or things that you see. You know, you can't go do that. I mean, it's just almost impossible. People would tend to think that you're crazy. So, um, when you want to try to find the same people that are speaking your language, another way that you know that you're at a high frequency is when you start to walk and you're passing by things and you're in a, let's say you walk in a store and you walking down this aisle and some stuff fly off the shelf. You know that you're vibrating at a high frequency when these kind of things happen. Um, Also, looking for your spiritual family. Um, this is when you know that you're at a high frequency. Excuse the noise in the background because I've been waiting on these guys to come by and do their blowing and get going so I can do my video. But unfortunately, I'm not fixing to stop the video. So if it gets too loud for you, I'm sorry. I turned the mic up. I turned my music up a little bit, and I got this gain on. I don't know how that came on for the echo, but I don't know. But anyway, um, yeah. So when you're vibrating in a high frequency, you will know. Okay, let's see something. See if I can put it on cancellation, noise cancellation. High. So this is when you know you're vibrating at a high frequency. And also when you know you're at a high vibrational frequency, I'm sorry, is when you have things like this happen. When there's always something coming around disturbing and you're trying to put things out, that's when you know that you're vibrating at a high frequency. When you are vibrating at a high frequency, there's always people that tend to come around that want to dim your light. They want to bring you down to their frequency. When people come around you and they are trying to provoke you or trying to bring trouble to you when you didn't even have that, going. Another way that you know you are vibrating at a high frequency is when you walk into a place and everyone's stopped doing what they're doing and all eyes are on you. Everyone's got their focus on you. Another way that you are vibrating at a high frequency, and I had this experience that happened to me. I'm in this place and I'm in this crystal store that I'm working at, and then the next thing you know, there's a woman that comes inside the store, and she could not stay in the store because of me. She said that my energy was too heavy, it was too high, it was too. So when you got people that are when you got people that are what's the word? When you have people that are can't seem to stay still or be around you for a long length of time. And it's not you, it's them, because your frequency, or let's say your light, it's just too strong, too it's too much for them. At one point, I had a woman come to my home, and we were having a event at our home. We were, we had card reading, we had meditation, we had all kinds of stuff going on, and I was doing healing, and in my healing room, um, we had a sit down. Everyone was sitting down. We were talking, conversing, and stuff like that. And this woman was telling my ex that she could not go in my room. Um, Something was keeping her outside of my room. Like, it was basically, um, the energy was too much. And then another one of my friends was saying that my room was like, it was kind of like high altitude, and she could not breathe in my room because the altitude was too high in my room. These are the things that you look for, and when you know that you are at a high vibrational frequency. Another thing, when you're at a high vibrational frequency, you tend to pull people to you that are vibrating at the same frequency. But then you do also wind up pulling um, those that will try to bring your frequency down. They're moths. These are people that are moths. When you're vibrating at a high frequency, a lot of negative energy tend to follow you. A lot of negative energy. Um, you attract this negative energy. Now, when you are at a low frequency, you will attract low frequency, but you want to attract high frequency to you. But a high frequency person, they attract both high and low frequency. And also, when you know that you're at a high frequency, is when someone um, opens up and they tell you their problems. They come to you and they just speak to you, and they say, they tell you all the things, and without even knowing you, but they feel comfortable enough that they let their guard down and they start speaking to you and telling you things that are wrong in their life. When someone comes to you when you continuously having people come to you and they're telling you things, and they don't even know you, but they're telling you things that they shouldn't be telling you. This is when you know you're vibrating at a high frequency. Um, because there are a lot of people that there are a lot of dark entities, or people that have a lower frequency will gravitate toward people that are really of high frequency. I'm hoping that I'm making sense. I'm hoping that people can understand what I'm saying, um, to on this level of frequency, because um, high frequency people always attend to um, high frequency people always attend to attract the dark energy. And when you're vibrating at a high frequency, dark energy tend to um, they tend to become narcissistic, so to speak. They will confuse your energy. Not well, actually, they won't confuse your energy. They will just say that you are dark, that you have some type of magic, or you doing magic, or you are doing something to them. But in actuality, a high frequency person like myself, I don't absorb dark energy. I transmute dark energy. Anyone that comes around me and they're thinking that you're pulling, like when I would do healing work, and I would do healing work on people, people assume that I'm doing something negative to them. So this is what they put out on you. When you are working at a high frequency, you tend to transmute dark energy to light energy. And when people that are dark, when they start feeling you tugging on their energy, they're thinking that you're sucking they're thinking you're sucking their energy. They think that you're sucking their energy, when actual reality you're transmuting their energy to light energy. So when you have someone around you that's constantly always around you, that's bickering, always constantly arguing, always constantly have a negative aspect, the longer they're around you, the more you start to pull that, you start to transmute that negative energy to positive energy. But in actuality, you're actually just transmuting that energy, and that energy is going back and forth. So basically, are you're basically transmuting the dark energy into light energy. But they feel this pull. A dark person can feel this pull. They feel it. Um, just as well as you can see someone, you just this is how they can feel it. It's a feeling of someone staring at me, or they feel someone following them. This is what is how you know that you're vibrating at a high frequency. Excuse me 1 minute. Enjoy the music. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I am back. Just give me 1 second. All right, I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. All right, another way how you know that you are vibrating at a high frequency is when you have, let's say and this is how I knew my frequency was high, is when your ways of being change. You know, you don't seem to be the same person that you were before. You're not into the same things that you were into before. You know that your frequency is high when you don't listen to the same type of music. You know that your frequency is high when you don't um, watch TV anymore. When these things doesn't interest you anymore. All worldly things does not interest you anymore. This is when you know you're vibrating at a high frequency. When you vibrating at a high frequency, and the people that you used to be with and people that you used to hang out with, when they start saying something different about you, or when you don't react the same, you don't react to other people's comments and things that they say in a negative way, is when you're vibrating in a high frequency. Um, when you don't enjoy the same things that you used to enjoy, and people start to see these things, they uh, um, um, they think that something's wrong, or basically when you just you completely not the same person, and people cannot accept the person who you have become. This is when you know you're vibrating at a high frequency. When you're vibrating at a high frequency, you know the word no. When you know you're vibrating at a high frequency is when you know your worth. And when you know your worth, you know what you will accept and what you won't accept. This is when you know you're vibrating at a high frequency. All of these things that I'm telling you about high frequency and knowing your high frequency is because these are the things that have happened to me. I've already told you a lot of things. When you know you're at a high frequency is when you start noticing life. When you start noticing the significance of life. And I mean all life. When you're at a high frequency and you can't stand to see mutilated animals, or let's say when you see a dead carcass on the street, because you feel for that animal in its last life. When you start to care about just life in general, I mean just nature, just having a heart and knowing that life is precious is when you're vibrating at a high frequency. When you stop and you slow down and you see the beauty in the world, you see you see what the Creator has created, is when you know that you're vibrating at a higher frequency. When time seems not to exist anymore in your life, and you lose track of days, weeks, months, you're vibrating at a high frequency. And especially when you lose days. Not that you're moving fast, it's just your absorbance of not thinking about time. Everything is moving fast, but you're moving slow. You're moving at a slow pace, but absorbing everything. And this is where time begins to fade away. There's no such thing as time. This is when you know you're vibrating at a high frequency. So, I'm hoping I summed up some of the things, but I'm quite sure I didn't get everything. Now I don't know if I think they're still going because I can still see grass on the cement. But when it comes to my best friend, she likes fake flowers and fake plants and all this other kind of stuff. This is not life. This is not living beings. I love real flowers. I love real trees. I love nature. When you spend a lot of your time outside, feet to the ground, meditating, grounding, hugging a tree, absorbing nature, absorbing the skies, looking up at the heavens, you're vibrating at a frequency of your own. Frequency is everything. Vibration is everything. More importantly, frequency is everything. People seem to think that this ascension you have to become a light body. And light body means changing your diet. Because food also changes your frequency, whether you know it or not. Reserving life, reserving your ancestors' lives is frequency. Becoming a plant-based eater says that you are vibrating at a high frequency. When you are, and this is what I learned when I first started, because I quit eating meat cold turkey. This is when my first awakening. I asked Spirit, I said, if me still eating meat, will I hit a plateau where I cannot rise any higher in frequency? And Spirit said yes. Eating meat will stop your frequency. It will hit a wall. You will hit a wall on high frequency. You will. When you're at a high frequency is when you're able to be in between worlds. When you're able to be in the unseen and the 3D at the same time. And you know that you're there. When you're able to see in the different realms is when you know you're vibrating at a high frequency. I learned this, that I was in different realms, and when I was able to see in the different realms, see people walking around, see parks and see grass and see people walking and just all kinds of images, and I knew I was seeing in different realms. This is how you know you're vibrating at a high frequency. When you're able to see objects come in and out of portals is when you know you're vibrating at a high frequency. This is not easy. It takes some time to be able to see this. But you have to want to. You have to want to change. You have to want to be around the right people. It's not easy being a high frequency person because you get bombarded with all kinds of things, all kinds of people, and especially people. You get bombarded by all of the dark entities and everything. You're a light. You're a beacon of light. You're shining so bright that you attract the moths. You attract the dark. You definitely attract the dark. It's a blessing and a curse. But it's more of a blessing because you help so many people. I said this was going to be a lengthy video, because there's so much to cover when it comes to knowing when you're at a high frequency. music, one of the things that helps you with your frequency and raises your frequency is listening to music what you're hearing right now, or listening to music that is um, what is it called, hertz, different types of hertz music. These things raises your frequency. um, Anything that doesn't have words, you know. I mean, happy music is fine, you know. um, some movies that you take in, if it's not PG, you don't want that. But my suggestion is not to watch TV at all. Like for the past 2 weeks, I've been in my room not watching TV with my best friend because I only watch TV when she tries to guilt trip me, and I'm like, no, I don't want to watch it. I don't want to watch TV. You know, because I'd rather be in my own world than to be around listening to her and complain about this, all these different stuff. I don't want to hear that. I'd rather just be in my room and, do my videos, and that's it. You know, do what I want to do, watch what I want to watch. And what I want to watch is she's not interested in that kind of stuff. So if it's not something to do with biblical or not something to do with spiritual, I'm not interested. So learning to say no, or when you begin to start saying no and your friends are like trying to figure out why, it's because you're learning how to take over your life, and you don't want these things around you anymore. you know and people take notice to that. When you cut certain things and certain people out of your life, it's a form of raising your frequency. Cutting all worldly things out of your life, it's raising your frequency. Being in the world but not of the world, not a part of the world. I mean, you're just in it. You're in it. You're not a part of it. This is how you know that you're vibrating higher. When you rather spend most of your time alone, you're vibrating at a high frequency. But when you do go around people, you tend to pull those people, and you tend to be um, an empath to them, because you're feeling what they're going through. You're absorbing their energy, but you're transmuting that energy to light. But like I said, those type of people that have that negative energy and those dark energies and that dark people, witches, warlocks, sorcerers, I'm not saying that they're bad, but I am saying that those people will take a high vibrational person and turn them around to be a bad person. And I'm saying this because I experienced it. And which basically all we're doing is transmuting their energy from dark to light. But they feel like we're sucking something from them. They feel like we're sucking the life out of them. But in actuality, we're not. We're just transmuting their energy to fit within our realm, or within our force field. And a lot of people don't see that as a lot of them don't see that as positive. They see it as negative. They see it as that you're taking something from them. But give me 1 second. So I'm going to end this here. I really hope that any of you that have any questions and any doubts and thinking about whether you're vibrating at a high frequency, I hope I answered those questions for you. One thing to note to do is, and I haven't done this in a while, I really don't, I have it, but I really don't want to use it. But you should always have some kind of way of cleaning yourself off when you come from outside. Um, you want to put salt at your doorstep, like soon as from outside your house. You want to sage your house, but also you want to sage your body when you come in from outside. This is another way of clearing your frequency and raising it. But a better way of doing it is make sure you have salt at your door, but make sure that you, before you come inside your house, take your shoes off and step in the grass for a few minutes. I would say maybe like 10 minutes before you go inside. Step on the grass before you walk in your house. Make sure that there's salt at your door. Change it every week. Change the salt out every week. And you can use regular salt. I would say use regular salt because sea salt can be pretty expensive depending on where you get it from. But I would say do these things, at least to protect your energy and protect your home. Um, and always do a sage bath. Bathe yourself in sage as soon as you walk in. I haven't done it in a while, and it's probably because of where I'm at. This is not my space, so to speak. In my own space, then yeah, I'll do it. But other than that, this is not my space to do that. So I could do it in my room, but I do have things in place to remove energy and stuff like that, or to stop negative energy from coming into my room. But I want to thank my subscribers, new subscribers, and old subscribers. Thank you. Those that have been here with me since the beginning, thank you. Got the blowers back again. I want to thank those that are viewing. Thank you. Those that comments, thank you. I solely appreciate you liking my videos. And I ask that you do push the like button because it helps the algorithms on my channel. And it gives me more motivation to see more people subscribing and also liking. It gives me way more motivation to get on this channel. I mean, not only does it help me, but seeing my equipment sitting here on this table helps me, with my channel to want to get on to do my channel, because before it was just a camera and that's it. Now I got lights. I got a new stand coming. I got all kinds of stuff. I got another mic that I'm gonna try to start using, one that has it's for vibration, because I can thump on this table and it'll thump, 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 and you'll hear it within the video. And so I have a shock mic already, so I'm going to try to get another shock mic because I want to be able to do a podcast and be able to have guests to do interact back and forth and have conversations. So I want to try to take my channel there to where um, that I'm interacting with other spiritualists. So um, probably look for that to happen in the future because I'm going to start doing to where I'm going to have people, we're going to be on the same channel or they're going to be on my channel and we're going to do a podcast. So I'm going to be looking into that in the future. So we're going to get to that soon, hopefully. Um, I'm going to probably buy another um, board so that way I have like 4 people, 4 to 6 people, maybe 8 people, on the podcast that, and we're all, doing this thing together. But thank you all for just being there. It helps out the channel. So if you don't mind, push the like button and return the energy. I'm not asking for any money or anything like that. I don't have any, um, what is it called? I don't have any um, GoFundMe or whatever you want to call it, Cash App and all this other kind of stuff. I don't have that. Um, so I'm not asking for any money. All I'm asking for is to return the energy by pushing the like button. That's all I'm asking at this time. It may get to a time that I may have to um, ask for donations or stuff like that. But and the only reason why I would be asking is because my grandpa died when I was 7 months old. So my grandpa doesn't have a headstone or a footstone, and he's laying on the ground, in the ground, but with no marking. And I think that's super unfair that he doesn't have this. So I'm opting out to at least buy a footstone, and this footstone will run around $1,500. So I don't know when I'm going to try to do a GoFundMe or anything like that. Um, I have to get some things in order to do that. Opening up an account and all this other kind of stuff. And this is something I really don't want to be controlled by. I really don't want to be controlled by the government, you know. But thank you for listening. Ancestor of the Lyran race and the Carrion race,